Much like unicycles, unicorns, and the absolute unit, most people think the Uniparty is just a myth. But they're wrong.
Very nice words, but happens to be wrong.
Today we're going to break down what exactly is the Uniparty and what can we do to defeat it. So, the Uniparty is basically the idea that while America has two parties, they don't offer you a real choice. In reality, the two parties have the same goals: to benefit the ruling class and their corporate interests at the expense of everyday American families. Both parties support continued globalization and the destruction of American culture and the American identity. Mitch McConnell has no problem with China, and neither does Chuck Schumer. Both parties are in favor of free trade, mass immigration, and the forever wars. And this can clearly be seen in the ex-president's club. Carter through Obama, they've all worked together with the same goals since leaving the White House, like they're the best of friends. First, let's look at a little history. In the 1990s, we saw the two parties really come together as both presidential nominees got behind NAFTA and free trade. But just because those in party leadership were in agreement did not mean the vast majority of Americans were. People were so upset with the two parties echoing each other that anti-establishment candidates rose up for the first time. Pat Buchanan in the Republican primary as a paleoconservative in a party full of neoconservatives. Even more notably was Ross Perot, who ran as an independent and won roughly 18% of the popular vote in 1992. A never-before accomplished task and something that's never been seen since. But why was he able to do this? Because where the two parties agreed, Perot differed, most notably on economics. He was opposed to unrestricted free trade while both parties supported it. He was in favor of bringing home manufacturing jobs while both parties supported policies that sent those jobs overseas. And he was in favor of a balanced budget amendment while both parties were running up huge deficits. The Uniparty still defeated Perot in the end, but his voice was heard more than any other third-party challenger in modern history. But why are we talking about this today? Because it still exists, except now the challengers come from within each party. In 2016, Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders both ran outside the guidelines of the Uniparty and the political establishment. Trump didn't hold back on attacking both parties. He went in swinging and called out the Uniparty, rebranding them the Swamp. When it came to the general election, you had a former Republican president endorse the Democratic nominee. Why? Because Trump wasn't cut from their same cloth. He opposed both the Bushes and the Clintons. He opposed their Uniparty. He opposed their vision of the country. A vision of free trade where American workers lost their good-paying jobs so America could save a few dollars on cheap goods from China. A vision of forever wars in distant lands. A vision of open borders and mass immigration. Trump was actually different from the two parties of the 21st century leading up to that point, and that is why he won. So yes, an outsider won the presidency, but did that defeat the Uniparty? No! While yes, Trump challenged the Uniparty, they worked tirelessly for 4 years to stop him from accomplishing any real change. They convinced him not to bring home our troops as quickly as he otherwise would have. They blocked him from building the wall, and they refocused his presidency from one focused on domestic policy to one focused on foreign policy, which is kind of weird since we're trying to put America first, right? So, even though he wasn't as effective as he could have been, that wasn't the point. The point is that he challenged them, and that successful challenge has now opened up the possibility for more anti-establishment candidates to run and to win in the future, whether that be Trump types like Josh Hawley or Joe Kent, or Bernie types like AOC and the Squad. The point is that hopefully the two parties will begin to offer a real choice again, and that is a win for all of us. Because if the choice is real between the American working class and the globalist elite, it is a choice that will be easy for the American people to make, and a choice that we will win every time. Thank you, and God bless America.
Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo.
Let's go!